Hi everyone, I'm Nathan and it's Ramble Time. Time to ramble again on a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's mid to late August. We're going to ramble. This time we're looking back at the first half-ish of 2022. And this will be the last look back. And we are looking at games. What games did I play and how many times did I play them? Let's go. The first thing I played was Targi. Oh, before we get into Targi. Targi's a great game. It's a worker placement. You place 2-3 workers down, and then in the spaces where they intersect, you get treats. I played it with the great Matthew Makak. It was super fun. We played on BGA, which I don't count. I don't count app games, but I'll count BGA, especially because there's another human being playing. But before we do that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games. I played 15 games. I didn't count how many times total. 36, 43, 55, 60. It's a math stream, you guys. 63, 64, 65, 66, 69 times. 169 times. Nice. Okay, so we've talked about Targi. Targi is a worker placement game. You put your workers down, you get some treats. It's tricky. We played to a double tie, which is awesome. We tied in score, and we tied in the first tiebreaker. Matthew Makak is a fantastic teacher. I will put a link down in the comments below for Room 51. If you haven't been there, you should be there because Room 51 is awesome. Matthew Makak is awesome and is a great teacher. Then also on BGA, these first 4 are ones I played with the Makaks on BGA. That one, as far as I know, was the only one I played. I can't remember. Next up is we're going to do Can't Stop next. I don't know if it's called Can't Stop, Won't Stop, or just Can't Stop. Definitely Can't Stop. We'll say Can't Stop. It's a push your luck dice rolling game. I played that with one of the Makaks, and I cannot remember who it was, so my apologies. I played that once, and I can't remember who won. Doesn't particularly matter. It was a fun game. I had a great time playing with the Makaks on Board Game Arena. Next up, we played Not Alone. That was me and Justin, Matthew's brother, Justin. Justin and I played Not Alone on Board Game. Ah, there she is. My co-host is scratching to get in. Let me let my co-host in real fast. Sorry about that. Come on. Yeah, you can come in if you want. Sorry about that. Letting my co-host in and showing off my giant belly as I sit back down. Yep. We're talking about Not Alone. It's a hide-and-seek game where you hide in cards, and if your opponent finds you, they get a little advantage. And if they don't find you, you get a little advantage, and eventually one of you survives enough rounds that it's awesome. And it came down to the last turn. I remember it coming down to the last turn, and Justin had a 50-50 chance of finding me. And I can't remember what happened. He probably found me and destroyed me. I don't know. He's also excellent at teaching games. I learned that game really fast and had a great time. It was probably a tie. Team tie forever. Justin played King Domino with me. King Domino is, you get train tiles like Carcassonne or whatever game you love where you play train tiles, and you put them down and make sure some of the terrain match up, and the more terrain you get that matches, the more grassland or desert or forest or mines or mountains or lava, water, whatever kind of terrain feature, whatever, the more of those you get in a row, the more points you get, in a cluster, the more points you get. And we played a very close game of King Domino, and it's called King Domino because you get these little rectangle pieces like that, and on this side is one piece of terrain, and this side's another piece of terrain, and that's why it's called King Domino, I assume. I don't own any of these games, so I can't show you anything, and I didn't think to get my backup phone and put pictures of them on there, so I'll just say their names real loud again. And that was King Domino, and we played that. Justin and I played that, and we were doing awesome, and then on the last turn or two, he just bounced me by like 60 points. It was wild. I also played one game of Marvel United. Here's Tales of Asgard, the best expansion ever that my friend gave me in exchange for cash money. I played one game of Marvel United, and then I got my $600, $500 Kickstarter, which I've not unboxed. I'll unbox it at some point and do an unboxing video, an unboxing and an on-the-spot review video, as we should talk about that at some point, but it's a little bit too... Oh, hang on a sec. We should talk about that at some point. My rating system, because I don't want to do 1 through 10 ratings. I like to do 1 through 4. 10 is too many numbers. 4 is a good number. 4 is a good amount of numbers. Anyway, so I played Marvel United Tales of Asgard. Oh, this might have been the one time I played with those guys, Steve and Greg, at the game store. Anyway, so I played Marvel United one time. And I can't remember if that was with Steve and Greg on the free tables at Madness Games and Comics. And if it was, in Plano, Texas, shout out. And if it was, shout out to Greg and Scott. I haven't played with them since that day, but they let me play Marvel United with them, and that was nice. And that's one more. At Dub's Tea and Eats, there was a little tiny mini convention, which is about the biggest convention I can take, especially since they gave me a little separate side room each year. Since they gave me a little separate side room with like 3 tables in it, so there couldn't be too many people to cram it up and make everybody insane, or make me insane. Everybody's not going to go insane in a big crowd. I'm going to go insane. And there I met Hunter and Rebecca from the Family Showdown. And we played 2 awesome games that are the next 2 games on my list. One is Bad Company. It's like Space Base, where you roll your dice, and depending on what numbers you roll, you get treats off your guys. In Space Base, it's you get treats off your ships, and in Bad Company, it is treats off your, I don't know what it is. Ne'er-do-wells. We'll say ne'er-do-wells. Gang of ne'er-do-wells. They give you stuff, and that's a fun game. It's got a lot going on. They imported it from France, so I don't know if it's in America yet. They imported it from France, and it was only $20 shipping, which is fantastic. That's less shipping than I pay for Cool Mini or Not Kickstarter, which is why I don't want to kickstart anymore. And we played that one time, and it was super awesome. 2 times. 2 times we played Biblios. Biblios is... it's an okay game. It's fine. There's a fair chance that I would want to play it again. But it was fast, and it was light, and it was set collecting, and drawing cards one at a time and deciding who to give the cards to, or if you keep it yourself, or if you put it down to play later. But you gotta, kind of press your lucky drafting. And it was fun, and I played it twice because I wasn't ready for the evening to end, because I was having so much fun with my new friends. And I didn't want the evening to end, so I asked to play a second time. And it was pretty fast anyway. It was a 20-minute game. But Biblios, the Biblio theme is kind of tacked on, but that's fine. And of course I'd play it again with them. I'd like to see them again. This was April-ish, I think. It was April, and I haven't seen them since then. And I would like to see them again. It's nice to have friends. Also, 2 times I played Between Two Cities. It's a tile game where each tile is a building in your city, and you take 2 tiles per turn. You draft 2 tiles per turn from your little hand before you pass your hand on to the next person. And you have to build 2 cities. You build one with the player to your left, and you build one with the player to your right. And whichever of those 2 cities scores lower is what your personal score is. So that's super fun. You end up with a nice little 4x4 grid of a city, and it's super nice, and you score some points. And it was also very helpful and therapeutic when a dog passed on that I missed very, very much. So that was wonderful. I'm glad that game was there. And of course, that dog will live on forever here in my heart and will never be forgotten. 5 plays of Dune Imperium. This is probably why I haven't bought the expansion yet. It's because so far this whole 7 months, 7 months, I've only played Dune Imperium 5 times. So maybe I'm not going to be buying the expansions. Of course, that doesn't stop me from buying lots and lots and lots of living card game expansions, but that's neither here nor there. Once the plan for Dune Imperium, which is a game about putting your workers on the spaces, getting your treats, and trying to earn points, and points equal favor with the Emperor, and once you get to 10 points or more, 10 favor with whoever's in charge around here, you will win the game. I don't know what you win, but you win the game. Once I can beat the AI opponents, because I play solo, once I can beat the AI opponents regularly, I'll start thinking about the expansion. But in the meantime, the game is still challenging to me, and it's still fun. Fun enough that I played 5 times. So Dune Imperium. It's awesome. I like Dune. I like the Dune IP pretty well. We are going up now to 7. 7 plays. I played 7 times. I played Guess Who with my nephew. 7 times. I'm happy to be able to play a board game with him. If he really likes a board game and is really willing to play it by the rules and not just wacky crazy stuff, I'm down for wacky crazy stuff. And I'll play that a little bit. But sometimes the wacky crazy gets out of hand and I'd rather just play by the rules. So I do my best. I do my best for him and I do my best with him. And that day my best was 7 games of Guess Who. So I played 7 games of Guess Who with my nephew. Oh, Guess Who is, you get, you have a row of suspects in front of you, and you draw out of the deck one of the suspects and don't show it to your opponent. And then you have to ask yes or no questions to your opponent to try and guess which card they drew out of their deck, and they have to do the same to you, and it's a race against time as you take turns asking questions to figure out who this is. Is your person bald? Are they wearing glasses? Are they a woman? Do they have blonde hair? Do they have facial hair? Questions like that. Anyway, I played 7 times. Now to a game I actually do have the box for somewhere. Please excuse the squeaky chair. Oh, I forgot. Oh my goodness gracious. I forgot to write this down. Well, shout out to people who use spiral notebooks, but if you don't use it right, it's not going to work out. 3 times I played Marvel Champions. 3 times I played Marvel Champions. It is, you play a superhero and you try and thwart the supervillain's evil scheme and KO him and take him to jail. Or, yeah, probably take him to jail. Just, whatever. I played 3 times. It's solo. I played solo. It's a cooperative game, though, and it's a lot of fun. And I'd still play. I just don't really love playing by myself because there's a lot to keep track of, and I forget. I inevitably miss a lot every time I play. I played 2 games. Let's see. I played Hawkeye all 3 times. I played 2 games against... I think it was 2 games against Crossbones and 1 game against Absorbing Man. I feel like it might have been 2 each, but I think it was only 2 and 1. So 3 games of Marvel Champions. I've bought way more than I need to for a game that I've only played 3 times, but that's fine. Probably gonna stop buying at this point unless I really get some games going, because we gotta look at the other 2 living card games. Arkham Horror. Arkham Horror. Ah. Oh, I forgot the other 7. Sorry, I'm doing terrible. The other 7 is Wits and Wagers. I bought Wits and Wagers on my birthday from Half Price Books, hoping that my family would play Wits and Wagers Family Edition with me. They did not, but somehow still I got 7 games of Wits and Wagers in. So that's cool. Up at the game store with the tables, free tables, madness. Shout out. So I did play 7 games of Wits and Wagers. Oh, Wits and Wagers is like the first part of, if you've ever seen The Price is Right. It's like the first part of Price is Right where they go, how much do you think this satin brooch necklace is that this lovely model is wearing for you? Ooh, look at that. And then everybody bids. And then whoever guesses closest to the actual price without going over wins. That's what Wits and Wagers is. The wits part is try and get as close as you can to the actual number, like how many feet tall is Cinderella's castle at Disney World. So you try and get as close as you can, say 70 feet, 7 stories, that sounds all right. And then everybody writes their guesses down on a little thing, puts them down on a piece of paper, puts them down on the table, thank you. And then you take your little wagering chips and you bet who do you think got the closest. You get 1 point for being the closest, and then you get some more points if you wagered on the right person. And that's Wits and Wagers. It's a lot of fun. I'd play that probably with strangers anytime, probably. Even with strangers, yeah. Wits and Wagers is fun. Now for the big 2. You knew they were coming. Arkham Horror. Arkham Horror of the big 2 was played less. Did you guess? I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Did you guess? I played 42 times. I played Arkham Horror 42 times. I really enjoy it. You build a deck that represents the assets and so forth of skills of your investigator, and you go and take on a quest that is represented by a deck, or in campaign or investigation or whatever. It's represented by a deck of horrible things that'll happen to you. And it's really great. I don't even like horror games. I don't even like horror movies, books. I don't like any of that stuff. But Arkham Horror is so great. Deck building is super fun. I can do it during mental downtime at work. Itchy face. I can do it during mental downtime at work, and it's super fun to build the decks and then come home and make the decks, and then I get my guy, and then, then I get my guy and I try it, and it's super awesome. And I usually fail. I would say, of those 42 scenarios, I would say probably half, probably about 20-something were fails, and 20-somethings were successes, and that's cool. That's fine. And I would like to get more. Oh my God, the dogs are going insane. Sorry, buddy. I would like to get more scenarios to try out, so I have a bigger variety of scenarios, but it's fine. The scenarios I have right now are fine. I've got 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 12. Anyway, that's plenty. And last but not least, Lord of the Rings. The living card game. My friend Matthew Makak and I played a couple, and I played a lot by myself. I will, of course, give you the requisite 5 seconds to decide how many games you thought I played of Lord of the Rings. It's definitely more than 42. Try and get as close as you can without going over, like Wits and Wagers. The correct answer is 94 plays of Lord of the Rings. You build a deck with a small company of heroes, 1 to 4 heroes, and you go up against a deck that represents a quest, and the quest throws all sorts of mean stuff at you, and you just really just want to try and get by, man. But the forces of Sauron don't like that. And so, I played Lord of the Rings 94 times. That's a great game. I love it. I deck build in my head when I have, mental free time at work. And that's it. Those are the games I played. Those are the 15 or so games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games that I played 169 times. Nice. In 2022 so far. Next time, I'd like to do the shout out to Arkham. I think I'm going to do the shout out to Salute to the Arkham Horror card game, and I'll show off. It's not particularly an unboxing, but I'll show off what I found if I had them, I'd do it now, at Walmart, because I'm really excited. They've been haunting my dreams, and I'm really excited about them. So, okay. Until next time, everybody, take care.